Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy CPT, aka the Captain, coming at you from the Dark Side Empire. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge is Power. Like I said in my last video, and I will reiterate in all of my videos, I do believe knowledge is power. So I want to share some of the knowledge that I have with y'all, and hopefully y'all can use it. If y'all can't, you know what I mean? You know, it's some good things to take in. Today, the topic of the day is resiliency or resilience. I'm not sure if y'all are aware of the term, if y'all have ever heard of the term, but that's the topic we're going to be talking about today. And, resilience starts off with people being the ability to bounce back to overcome the unthinkable, I guess. Some people say that you're in certain situations, certain things happen for a reason. You know, everything I believe happens for a reason, and it's how you bounce back from these things, how you make it out, you know what I mean? How you overcome the adversity and get over the hump and keep it moving, you know what I mean? Sometimes you might be looking at your life and think, well, you know what? I'm at the lowest point, the lowest low that I could ever imagine. But if you look at it like that, you know what I mean? There's always up from there. If you're at the bottom of the pit, there's only one way to go, is up. You can't be digging any deeper because you're already at your worst. So there's some acronyms or some examples of resiliency. You know, I know I've heard the terms, are you an egg or are you a tennis ball? If you drop an egg, what happens? An egg cracks and it's pretty much shattered. You're never going to be able to put that egg back together. Are you a tennis ball? If somebody drops you, you bounce back up, you get back on your feet, and you continue doing what you need to do and keep moving on. There's a lot of different things that can happen in this world, this life, that can, you know, bring you to the bottom, bring you to the pits, you know what I mean? There's no reason to make rash decisions, you know what I mean? Never make a permanent decision for a temporary problem, because whatever you're going through now at this point in time or at this point in your life, it's probably not going to be there, or might not be there with you for the rest of your life, or you can overcome it so it does not affect you as much. You know what I mean? Me growing up the way I grew up, you know, I did grow up in foster care in the system, and I've managed to, you know what I mean, move past what happened and be able to bounce back, and that's why I do make these videos. And I'm going to start making more, you know what I mean, to show y'all, you know what I mean, you can make it back, you can make it out, but there are some steps, you know what I mean, to build resilience. First one is to make connections. If you want to start with resiliency, you know what I mean, you can make connections with people, make friends, have friends, surround you with good people, not just any random people, surround you with good people. And by good people, I mean people that are going to be there for you and support you thick and thin through anything, you know what I mean, not somebody that's going to be there and judge you, you know, or be one of them type of people. I've been around a lot of people like that, where they judge you, or if you're succeeding, they look down upon you because, oh, I'm never going to get this, oh, I'm never going to do that, just because, you know what I mean, they're down at their thing. One thing I will let y'all know is that with resiliency, you're going to be bouncing back, you know, but misery does love company. It's easy to be around and be all kind of like Eeyore, I guess you could say, aggravated all the time, sad all the time, you know, moping around. And people like that, they attract other people, and they want to bring people to their level. They don't want to push you up, they don't want to build you up. So when you make connections, you want to make connections with people that see you down in the dumps. They're going to push you. Like, say you lost your job, you know what I mean, perfect example, you feel like you're in the dumps, you're not going to be making any more money. How are you going to bounce back? How are you going to be resilient in this situation? You lost your job. What are you going to do? If you have a buddy that you made a good connection with, they're going to say, hey man, get back on the horse, get back out there, you're going to find another job, everything is going to be all right. You know what I mean? They tend to see the brighter side of things than looking at, oh, you lost your job, you know, and then the what ifs, you know what I mean? Oh, you lost your job, now you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose your car, you're never going to succeed in anything like that life. That's just staying down in the dump. If you're resilient in that situation, like I said, you'll bounce back up, you'll get back out there, start putting in applications, say, you know what, I may have lost my job, but that's not going to be the end of me, I'm going to keep it moving. Another thing that you can look at is avoid seeing crisis as an insurmountable problem. So if, you know what I mean, if you see one crisis, kind of like the job thing, you can't look at losing your job as, oh my God, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, like a snowball effect, or kind of like an avalanche effect. That's not looking at one crisis and putting everything together and thinking worst case scenario. You got to think realistically. Like, some people, they don't. But when you're being resilient, you got to think realistic. Oh, I lost my job, now I'm going to die lonely. You know what I mean? That's kind of far-fetched when you're looking at, okay, I lost my job. What's the worst case scenario? You lose your job, you don't get money for a little bit. You know what I mean? And then what? You find another job and you move on. You don't need to jump to conclusions and race, you know, speed thinking like, lost my job, boom, I'm gonna be, you know what I mean, single the rest of my life. I'm never gonna find anybody. I'm never gonna settle down. You know, that's not being resilient. Being able to bounce up back. You know what I mean. The next step in building resilience would be accept that change is part of living. Change does happen. You know, you can't. I know I'm one that I'm used to living in routine. I like routine. I stick to my routine, and that's kind of what I do. I stay with it, and you know, my routine does change. You know, from what I do for a couple months, then it'll change to something else, and then it'll change. Change does happen. There are things that are put in this life that aren't supposed to break you down, but they're supposed to help build you back up. And anything you overcome, it's going to make you stronger for the future. You know what I mean? Yeah, it might seem like it in the moment that everything's crashing down on you, everything's caving in on you, but you know, you can make it out. You know, the next step that we're going to look at to build resilience is going to be moving towards your goals. Know what you want to get out of life. You know what I mean? Just because something happens doesn't mean you're going to stop thinking about it. Let's say you want to buy a house. Back to that scenario, you lost your job. Okay, so you want to buy a house. Just because you lost your job, it doesn't, you know what I mean, stop your goals for buying a house. What do you got to do? You got to move forward. You know what I mean? Get another job. Start saving that money. Think of small accomplishments so you can move forward. Baby steps. You know what I mean? That's part of being resilient. That's how you got to work your way up to it. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't just wake up one day, oh yeah, I just got, you know what I mean, family member died, oh, who cares, you know. Of course you're going to have grief. Of course you're going to think about different things. But the point of this video is to teach you some resilience so you're not jumping the gun and you're not trying to, I guess you could say, find a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You know, the ability to bounce back. You know what I mean? Next one would be take decisive actions. Act on adverse situations as much as you can. Any adverse situation that comes at your way, act upon it, you know. If they hit you with that, you know, counteract. You know, pretty much that's what I get out of that, counteract. Look at things coming at you. That's not always preparing for bad things to happen to you, but that's more or less being vigilant and being ready to counteract. So, you know, lost my job, boom, we're going to go find another one. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, we can move on. Next step will be look for opportunities of self-discovery. You know what I mean? Looking within, you know, find things that motivate you. Look within yourself. You know, some people go to religion, some people read, some people listen to music. Look within yourself, search within you. What do you really want to get out of life? You know what I mean? What do you really want? Once you decide what you really want, you shouldn't let nothing stand in your way or stop you from getting to that point. You know what I mean? And then nurture and a positive view of yourself. You know, look at yourself. Don't be caring what other. That's one thing I want to hit on real. Don't care what other people think about you. You know, I know this whole trend now going on is weight loss, healthy living, and all that. But live the life for you. Live the life. Live every day as if it's your last. You know what I mean? Being resilient, I guess you could say, live your day every day as if it's your last. You know what I mean? You're never promised tomorrow, so live every day like, live it up, live the dream, do what you want to do, be who you want to be. Live your life. Don't worry about other people. And then another, like I said, keep things in perspective. Perspective is basically like I was saying earlier, you know what I mean? You've got to think about realistic stuff. In perspective, what's really going on, what's really happening. You know, and that's pretty much what you can do. The next on the list for building resilience will be keep things in perspective. When you're looking at perspective, is reality. What's really going on? What's really happening? Make sure it's realistic, that you're not thinking outside the box and going, you know, you started here and you're gonna jump way over here when these other events to make that happen haven't even happened yet. So you're jumping the gun and, oh, I'm terrible, nothing's gonna happen, I can't move on. And then you just got to keep moving forward. The last thing I'm going to leave y'all with in this, as far as to help you build resilience, will be to take care of yourself. You know, pay attention to your own needs. You got to make connections, like I said earlier. That's help people build you up, family members, stuff like that. Taking care of yourself is, you know, like I said, do you, be you, do what you want to do. You know, don't worry about anybody. Don't worry about what everybody says. As long as you're happy with yourself, don't worry about what other people think about you. All you got to do is move forward, be yourself, do whatever you got to do. Like I said in this video, I'm trying to harp on resilience because I know there's a lot of stuff going on, hazing, bullying. You know, it sucks, you know, but sometimes you got to have thick skin. If you're taking care of yourself and you know you got a positive view of yourself, you're not going to care what anybody thinks. Somebody could walk up to you and say, hey, you're fat. Well, okay, I don't care, man. I'm being me. I'm living happy. You know what I mean? And being resilient, they might bully you at school. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Are you going to go home, bring a weapon to school, shoot up the school or something? Or are you just gonna say, you know what, they're not even worth my time. These guys I'm probably not even gonna know in a couple years, and I can move on. It's not even worth it. You know what I mean? I'm better than that, and I'm taking care of me, and I'm doing and living a life that I want to live, and I'm pretty much doing what I want to do so I can be happy. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what resiliency is. How do you handle adverse situations, and how do you bounce back? Do you give in? Do you just crumble? Do you crumble like an egg, or do you bounce back like a tennis ball? That's the perfect scenario that I can give you. Somebody drops an egg, it splatters. A tennis ball bounces back. You know what I mean? How are you going to get back up and get back on your feet so you can keep moving forward and strive for those goals that you're listing? Like I say, you only got one life. You make your life what you want it to be, and you take the steps and you know what I mean, make the decisions you want to make. You can stay in the dumps, be an Eeyore, or you can keep moving and live your life the way you want it to be. All right, well, this has been you know what I mean, a podcast about resiliency. Your boy CPT. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all hear some that I wrote down that maybe will help y'all out a little bit about resiliency, give y'all a little taste of my thoughts on resiliency. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to that, and then I'll go ahead and close y'all out. Today, we're gonna talk about resiliency. This trap beat right here, I'm gonna learn y'all something. Here we go. Resiliency's the key and the reason that I believe you can make it out of any situation and anything. People will lie to you and tell you in your face that you ain't worth nothing, that you are a disgrace. They will beat you down and push you out and push you in the mud. But what do you do when you've had enough? Resiliency's the key, the reason that I believe we can bounce back and make it out and somehow achieve. You can learn from your life and keep moving with mistakes. Keep moving no matter how hard it is or what it takes. This is what you're doing when you're living your life. You gotta make these choices so that you can stay alive. So many different times people tell you many different things. They want you to believe that so you will follow them. You see, you ask me how I know and what I've been through. I've been through it all, been choose it all, and I do it all again. I bounced back, I moved up, I did what I needed to do. I took a step back and looked and realized those friends that were not true. They looked at me like they wanted something, but now I know they didn't want nothing. But I gotta keep it moving. Man, they didn't want the love and they didn't love me. They just wanted me because they wanted for them. I gotta keep it moving, man, and not pretend. This is my life, this is how I live. You gotta keep it moving, boy, don't pretend. There's so many different things that people will tell you, and they'll lie to your face. You gotta keep it moving, forget them, man. You know they can be erased. They can be erased, they can be replaced, they can be thrown out of your life. With resiliency, you have the ability to strive to move forward and bounce back and keep moving. You don't have to live the way you were, this you're choosing. Keep moving and do what you gotta do. Look what's in front of you. There's so many different people you can talk to. You don't have to talk to them, even though you're used to it. They ain't your friends and they don't want your best. They pushing you and pulling you and putting you to the test. They want to take advantage of you and take all that they can. Beat you up and batter you down, control you, you see, man. It's crazy how many things I've been through. That's why I'm trying to tell you it's something you ain't used to. People looking at you, they will lie to your face. Tell you so many different things like you can be replaced. You're the only one that knows yourself, man. Do your work, then do nothing else. This is what you're gonna do when you're living in the game. Do what you gotta do, then beat it up the face. Resiliency's the key, the reason I believe that you can achieve what you want to.
what you gotta do and keep moving, yo. This is how you'll make it out and never be alone. Don't fall into their traps, cause that's what they wanna do.
Alright, so that's a little track that I made, you know what I mean, about resiliency. I figure, it's perfect for this video. It goes well with the topic, that's how I feel about resiliency. I have overcome quite a bit of issues that I have in my life growing up, and like I said, it's doable, it's manageable. Life's what you make it. Live your life for you, you know what I mean? Biggest thing I can get out of this video is bounce back, live your life for you. Who cares what anybody else thinks, you know what I mean? Hope y'all enjoyed that. I figured I'd include that clip in there. Music, like for me, I write music, find something that you enjoy to do. I like making these videos. Like I said, knowledge is power. The more that I know that I could share and touch a few people out there, you know what I mean, I'm more than willing to do it, to spread knowledge, because there's too much going on in the world. And if people had a little more resiliency, they'd be able to bounce back. All right, hope y'all enjoyed this. Your boy CPT, aka the Captain, Dark Side Empire. We'll catch y'all on the next video. Knowledge is power. Peace.